He's going to get a third term. So Trump 28, Trump is going to be president in 28, and people just ought to get accommodated with that.
So what about the 22nd Amendment?
There's many different alternatives. At the appropriate time, we'll lay out what the plan is, but there's a plan, and President Trump will be the president in 28.
This was an actual dialogue on Air Force One. Question, Bannon said there's a plan for you to run and potentially win a third term. Trump, well, I haven't really thought about it. I have the best poll numbers I've ever had. I mean, I just solved 8 wars, 9th is coming. It's just, I keep saying, from someone that had a mom with dementia, he's just gone. He just keeps repeating the same things. I just think I won all 3 times, huge. I solved 8 wars. I mean, I have the highest poll. They're the lowest poll numbers, literally, of any president ever in history, right?
At this point,
Yeah,
yes, in their second term, or maybe ever. But the other, did you see the thing he said about AOC? And he said something about AOC and Jasmine Crockett are low IQ.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, they couldn't pass the IQ test, the test I took at the hospital, and he said, the first couple questions are easy, is it a tiger, a giraffe? And then by the 10th question, I would challenge them on that test. And it's like, dude, we're just making sure you had a brain.
Again, someone lost a parent to Alzheimer's. That's the test they make you take when they know you're in cognitive decline. You don't brag about going, I aced a cognitive test. It's like the only reason you take a cognitive test is because doctors say, you need one. And the whole...
they showed me the pictures. I pointed out the giraffe.
And then he admitted,
I'm actually sure that he has people around him that he showed it to them and said, could you pick out the giraffe? And they all went, don't know. Yeah. Could you show us, Donald? Which one is the giraffe?
I mean, okay. And the other thing, we were supposed to admitting to having an MRI. First of all, his second annual physical in 6 months. Right. And he gets an emergency MRI and tries to pass that off. Like, get a perfect MRI. You don't have to take an MRI unless there's a reason, unless you've had a stroke or there's a reason to believe that okay.
I did. I got an MRI. It was perfect. Yep. I mean, I gave you the full results. We had an MRI, and in the machine, the whole thing, and it was perfect. Yeah.
Did you say what in particular?
You could ask the doctors. In fact, we have doctors traveling with us, but I think they gave you a very conclusive. Nobody has ever given you reports like I gave you. And if I didn't think it was going to be good, either I would let you know negatively, I wouldn't run, I'd do something. But the doctor said some of the best reports for the age, some of the best reports they've ever seen.
It's too much. It's like a wall of... Okay. You said... Rachel Maddow said the president's statement announcing the relief funding emphasized the number of times he won Missouri's electoral votes as if there was some kind of connection between his political support in the state and his eagerness to provide disaster aid. And you just said if my state isn't eligible for federal assistance in disasters because of how we voted in 2024, then my taxes shouldn't go to the federal government. Thank you. He's done the same thing to us out here in California. Right?
We're either
he was
a
like,
country
screw
or
you,
we're
rake your forests after the fires, right?
Yeah. We're either a country or we're not. We're either the United States or we're not. And if the only way you can be an equal member of the United States is by supporting the president, then that's moronic. That in itself is a way of dissolving the country.
Yeah. Well, by the way, to your point, Mitch in Florida wrote an interesting, which I hadn't thought of, but she said, hey, team, during the Frangela segment on Friday's show, you mentioned that Trump doesn't seem to understand how many votes he got from blue states. Quick stats, Trump's votes in L.A. County, 1.27 million. Trump votes in Alaska, Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Montana combined 1.24 million. Los Angeles County had more Trump votes than each of the 15 red states. Cook County, Illinois, had more Trump votes than each of the 7 red states. First of all, I don't want to live in a state with those people, but anyway, they're here, and but that's why we're the United States of America. There's a lot of red people. I mean, we're 40 million people, so those stats don't surprise me. But you're like, all those millions of people voted. You can't. There's a lot of blue people in red states as well, right?
Right. And and the other thing is in some of those blue states, I mean, not to give him any credit, it's more to give, to shame the people that did it. But his numbers increased in some blue states, in New Jersey, in New York. He got more votes, and yet he's just screwing them over. He's just screwing those states over because they are presumably blue, even though they're not just blue.
Right, right. You also retweeted Russia is amassing nuclear weapons and attacking submarines in the Arctic Circle as it prepares for war with NATO. Norway's defense minister has warned. And you said in Trump and Putin, we really have two elderly holes trying to drag the world back to war, colonization, and conquering. They want to see what happens when it finally blows up. This is when, Chris and I were saying about every time we say, well, he can't do that. I mean, people that go, oh, someone will stop him about the nuclear codes. Really?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah. And you want me to throw out my crazy conspiracy theory?
Yes.
This is my crazy conspiracy.
Okay.
That Putin and Trump have coordinated and they're going to attack at the same time. Trump in Venezuela and Putin in Europe. That's my theory.
All right. Good night. Happy Monday.
I mean, if I were really evil,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thunk.
I know.
All right.
I know.
Well, that's a.
We all need to go visit our book depositories.
Okay. All right. Let's just have a happy.
Just to make it through the day.
Let's have a happy ending to this segment, shall we?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Goodbye.
Thank
I'll
you,
see
Rude.
That's it. You're cut off.
I wanted to talk to you both, Yahweh and Yesh, because I wrote a book, and it's about you guys, but it's really about some of your fans, the mean ones, the racist ones, the homophobe ones, the ones who don't like women. You guys come off really well in the book. Jesus, you come off really good in this book.
Yeah, I've heard that when people talk about the Bible, they tell me that God, you come off really well.
Said no one ever.
Jesus comes off really well. Yeah, no, God, you're very impressive, God. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but you there's some moments, Almighty, where you're kind of the alcoholic step God. You know what I'm saying? But Jesus, he's chill throughout. Like he's proof of evolution.
But John, people have been twisting my message, right? And that's what this book is about.
It really is, Jesus. I mean, I've gone through this book of yours many times. You never said anything against the gays. You never said anything against women having to be forced to be pregnant. I mean, you're not against abortion. You're against the death penalty, Jesus. I know that. You're like your dad in that you tell us to welcome the stranger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the right people are twisting my message left and right, and we can't take it anymore. So we're so excited to have this book, a really rock solid resource to show people what the Bible actually says. And that's why we love you, John. You're spreading our true good word.
Simon & Schuster's Avid Reader Press presents Separation of Church and Hate, the bold, hilarious new book from John Fugelsang.